Alright, so now that I am out of the Nether, we will bring it to our next destination, which is something that is a combination of a survival region and creative. In survival, we discovered this island that was a jungle, but there was no jungle nearby except for that one way over there past the tower. And so we're like, that's weird. There's just this one little jungle island off in the middle of nowhere. So we decided we were going to cut down every single tree and deforest it. And so it became known as Deforestation Island. And when we were done developing it, we said, you know what? No one can live here. It is banned. The island is toxic. But we never really had a reason for it to be toxic. So when we went and we created all these color pipes that you'll see, which we'll discover what the origin of those is later, we decided that we would make it so that there had been a blue spill, which contaminated the island and made it unlivable. So, as you notice, it gets less concentrated as you get away from the spill, eventually just over here being nothing at all. And it is next door to the house of one of our old friends by the name of Joel. He went to high school with me, wasn't a brony, but it was still really cool to hang out with. Sadly, he doesn't really play with us anymore. He's more of a PC guy. So he built this house and all this farm stuff and everything. And we had a rail that went to his house from my house, which you will see later. And beneath the water, we have one branch of what I like to call the water temple. The full tour of it will be given later once we discover its origin. But the water temple is a series of passages that I created and rooms underneath the water, obviously, which is very confusing in layout and very extensive because it is in every major body of water on the original map that we made. Although one is not finished just yet because Pinky was in charge of making it and never finished it, and so I didn't feel like doing it. So the next thing that we are going to look at is the Bumper Boat Arena and the fictional character graveyard. Bumper Boat Arena was just something that I decided that I'd make. I made it in like 30 minutes. It's just a nice little thing where if we wanted to record a video of bumper boats, we could. So you got the water, and then when your boat breaks, you fall through the water and you burn to death. So each pen has its own set of boats, and then you start in the pen, and then when go is called, you just, charge forward. And then this is the sleeping area for when we play bumper boats. And this is the main attraction in this area. This is the graveyard of fictional characters. It features characters from My Little Pony, Star Wars, Game of Thrones, Marvel, Code Geass, the anime, Walking Dead, both the games and the shows, although I only actually know what it means for the video game characters. I've never really watched the show. And it just has some random ones from random stuff. So in we go. So first on the left, we have a lot of Star Wars characters. First we have the Jedi killed in the Purge. We have Stas Ali, Sin Dralig, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Plo Koon, Jocasta Nu, Luminara Unduli, Ayla Secura, and Barra Sophie. Those are a lot of the Jedi killed in the Order 66 Purge from Episode 3. And then Anakin Skywalker, who once again, the whole name couldn't fit on the sign, so I had to skip a letter. And then Ultron. No, not the one from the movie that was just released. This was made before that movie, but I guess he also died in that movie too, so whatever. And then, and this, before anyone tries to argue, is a thing where I looked at a list, and it said, and the list was called List of Dead Marvel Superheroes. So, they might have come back to life, they might have only died in one universe and not the other one, but as long as they were on the list, I put them on a sign. So, Wolverine is one. And then we have, from Walking Dead Season 2, if I specify a season, and I abbreviate it like that, like WDS2, that means that it's from the video game. If there's no season number, or I spelled it out, it's from the show. So Carlos from Season 2, rest in peace Carlos. Luke from Season 2, rest in peace. And then we have Kenny from Walking Dead Season 1 and 2, based Kenny. Although seriously, I don't know why I thought Lee was so urban, but whatever. And then from over here we have Lee Everett from Season 1. The best, I would say, protagonist in a video game series. We have Troy from Season 2. Fucking scumbag. Fuck you, man. We have Carly from Season 1, based Carly. We have Ben Paul from Season 1, who got everyone killed. Fuck you, Ben. We have Mark from Season 1, who didn't deserve it. We also have Larry from Season 1, who did deserve it. We have Walter and Matthew, who were buried together, as I assume that would be what they would want. We have Omid from Season 1 and 2. Poor Omid. Amy from the show. We have Andrea Cantillo from Breaking Bad, who I also don't know, so that doesn't really mean anything to me. And then here's where the miscellaneous comes into it, where we have Here Lies Everyone from The Departed, and then we have Sonny Corleone from The Godfather, and then over here we have Dr. Dumbledore from Harry Potter, Severus Snape from Harry Potter, Fred Weasley from Harry Potter, and then we also have some more miscellaneous. We have Syndrome from The Incredibles. We have Jack Dawson from The Titanic. We have Bambi's mom from, Bambi. We have Mufasa from The Lion King. And we have Ellie from Up. And then back into the realm of Marvel heroes, we have Jean Grey, Gwen Stacy, Professor X, Pyro, Vertigo, and the Rhino. And then we've got some more people from other shows. We have Matt Kowalski from the movie Gravity, who is played by, I believe, George Clooney. We have Ned Stark from Game of Thrones. We have John Proctor from The Crucible. We have Tommy from Goodfellas. We've got... And this is the only person in the graveyard who is not fictional. And he had just died when we made this, so we decided to make an exception and put Robin Williams in the graveyard. We have Jenny from Forrest Gump. As I mentioned, Matt Kowalski. And then if we go to this row, back into Marvel, we have Black Widow. That's not Marvel. We have Uncle Ben and Ant-Man. And then we have Luis from Walking Dead, Sophia from Walking Dead, Jim from Walking Dead. We have Doug from Walking Dead. Although Doug was also in Walking Dead, the video game, so that's actually kind of sad. And then we have Lacey from Walking Dead, Sean from Walking Dead. And then we go into the realm of MLP deaths, which I will read off last because that's what started this. And then we have Viserys Targaryen from, obviously, Game of Thrones. We have Lily from Walking Dead Season 1. We have Kit Fisto, killed in the Great Purge. We've got Detard, Reed from the anime Code Geass, Shirley from the same anime, Rolo from the same. And then we have Here Lies Gary's Radicate. He didn't deserve it. You've got Tywin Lannister from Game of Thrones. You have Joffrey Baratheon from Game of Thrones. And we have a bunch of Star Wars ones on this row here. We've got Clone Commando Sev, who is assumed to be missing at the end of the Republic Commando video games. So he's in there. We have Count Dooku, Jango Fett, Boba Fett. Here lies the one black X-Wing pilot, and I'm not even kidding. If you watch the Episode 6 space battle sequences, you can find it on YouTube, just the space battles. You will see that there are two ethnic pilots. There's a black pilot and there's an Asian pilot. That is, aside from like the major characters like Lando. There's one black pilot and then there's one Asian pilot. They both die. God damn it, George Lucas. Then we have the entire planet of Alderaan. It's weird because fitting a planet into a grave would normally be hard, but because the Death Star atomized it, it was actually pretty easy. We have Padme, Qui-Gon Jinn, Darth Maul, and I don't care about the thing that says that he survived. He fucking died. And then Yoda. So those are all of the other Star Wars characters. And over here, oh, I missed a couple actually. We have Obi-Wan, Mace Windu, Etain Turmukan from the Republic Commando book series, who was probably the saddest death in a book that I've ever read, and then Palpatine. And then over here we have some more Code Geass ones. We have the Princess Euphemia from Code Geass, and we have a Lelouch from Code Geass. And that shit's been out for so long that I don't even care if you complain about spoilers because you've had enough time to watch that. I guarantee it. And then now we'll finish up with the MLP ones, which started this whole graveyard. So first we have the death of Scootaloo's chances of flying. We have M.A. Larson because the fandom killed him after he made Twilight and Alicorn. And we have Derpy's original voice, the one by Tabitha St. Germain, which was in the last roundup, and which I still think is the best one. Admittedly, the one they did in episode 100 was still good, and I enjoyed it, but it wasn't quite as good as the original one that they had. And then we have Sombra, Twilight's Library, and Luna's Relevance. And the main grave, the one that started this whole thing, the one that we were just going to make out back behind Twilight's Castle, which we still haven't made because Season 5 isn't over yet, is Rarity 2010 to 14. But really, who cares? And that's a question that's rhetorical because no one cares, so don't even try answering that question. Alright, so the next one that we have is, you may have noticed that floating cloud city in the sky, is the floating cloud city in the sky. Cloudsdale, which was actually, and you can probably tell because of how shitty it looks, compared to a lot of our stuff, is the first project being made in creative. It is what started it. So first, we have this, which actually isn't bad, but it wasn't made when the rest of it was made, so that explains it, which is a storm cloud with a forbidden temple, and it is lightning, and he made it actually rain, which I thought was a cool touch. Making the rain cloud rain is actually pretty fucking cool. Pinky made this by himself, and it's just like a little housing area for an egg. So, there's that. And then if we go over to the mainland, we have the Rainbow Bridge used to access Cloudsdale from the ground. And then we've got a couple guest houses, one over there, another one over there. We've got just like some little fountainy things. We've got a hotel, which was also made after the fact. And while not furnished, looks okay. I've gotten in the habit more recently than before that when I make stuff, I tend to just do the architecture. And a lot of times I'll leave the furnishing till later. Like only one room is furnished and that's it, and it's only very basically furnished. So in keeping with the fact that this was early on, we actually put like survival stuff in there, like, you know, furnaces and shit like that. And the other two rooms are empty. They used to be filled with paintings, but we quickly reached the limit of paintings we have, so yeah. And over here we've got Applejack's guest room, aka me. And over there is Derpy's guest room, for when the three primary people that played were me, Derpy, and Pinky. And then back in the back, we have the Rainbow Factory, aka Pinky's room, and this is where Pinkie Pie lives. So the light comes in and is captured in this matrix here. It's split up in order to get all the impurities out, and then here it is sifted through that filter, condensed back into a form to make it go back in, and then right there it splits into its individual colors, and orange, red, yellow, and purple are siphoned off to the front, back, left, and right, and then blue, green, and pink continue down until they split right below the floor. And then we've got purple, which goes right there, red goes over, splits across, goes back, and then underneath. Yellow goes back, down, splits, goes around it, goes down, over, and comes back, and then goes into the island. And then green goes down like that, blue goes down like that, and pink goes down like that. And then those you'll see all over the map. There's no point following all those pipes now, because we'll see them. We'll cover the entire map by the end of this fucking video. That I promise you. We've got the racetrack, which here's the ticket booth for the racetrack. And then you've got the track itself. This is the Cloudsdale racetrack where all the Pegasi race and everything. So over here you have concession stands, we have beverages, fan apparel, and concessions. And then you've just got like a nice little racetrack. And over here you have like the skybox. You got some tables with some chairs and a nice little like rainbow pattern. You know what's trippy? Looking through these rainbow windows at the water. I mean, look at the red. It's like the entire swamp is just filled with the blood of my enemies. And then orange, and there's green, and then orange, and then... Christ. Black especially looks fucking weird. Blue is just kind of whatever. Yellow just looks like the... looks like it got pissed in. And then purple looks kind of cool. Green is cool looking. That's cool looking. The coolest one, I think, personally, is white. Yeah, that looks pretty awesome. Because the entire swamp is basically full of either cum or milk. And whatever one you choose is up to you, but I choose to think that it's probably semen. So we have a bar for drinks, some TVs to watch shit, a nice little entertainers area. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, stripper pole. And then the scoreboard to keep track of who's in what place, all the stands to sit in, and then the track, which we had a guy come in, Big Mac, who he actually likes NASCAR, so he helped us do like the like how the turn doesn't just go straight around; it actually like has elevation and stuff. So that he helped us with that. And then the next thing we will look at is over here, which is my landmass. Yes, I own this entire landmass. See, the whole thing is gray. That means it's mine. And in here, we have the only thing on this island that isn't mine. That being the Lunar Temple as designed by EQG Luna. Which looks very nice. It's just got a very lunar sense to it, which is quite nice. A nice little like ceiling thing with a chandelier, which I thought he made quite well. And then a couple of sub-rooms with like beds and stuff like that. You know how it goes. So that is the Lunar Temple. And then over here we have my island. This is where I live. Initially, almost all of it is survival, including this big trench. The trench we made, survival. The egg, survival. The yellow pipe, not survival, but the portal it goes to, survival. The tree, survival. The big giant tower, survival. That, survival, survival. Creative. Pretty much everything is survival, except for the monorail track that runs to it, and the stuff I mentioned. So this is where this is where I and many other people lived for quite some time. You know, we lived here for a long while, and it was a lot of fun living in here, and a lot of memories in this particular area. This is the courtroom where we tried, convicted, and then murdered Twilight. I stood in my pulpit, and he was in the defendant's area, and then we had a jury, but it appears to have died. Then we have the symphony hall made downstairs, which, if it wouldn't cause extreme lag, we had these 4 sections of lights hooked up to 4 different circuits that would flash at different intervals. So we had basically like a flashing light show, which was pretty cool. Once again, taking a drink, thirsty as fuck. Would you believe that I've been recording for an hour and a half almost already? Christ, talking for an hour and a half is, man, pretty hard. We got Andy's bed. This is my bedroom. I sleep there. We got my dog, Oswald, who literally has been here for almost 2 years. It's about 1.5 years, I'd say, at least. And then this leads up to the tower. And this is the little enchanting area. And then we have Twilight's library over here. This leads out to the courtyard. We've got Iron Man's bedroom. And then an extra storage room. The Sugar Cube corner room, which is just like the bakery room. We have Applejack's cellar, which is just where we kept all of our items. We had a lot of items down there. No, not so much. And this was Quasi's room. This is the entrance on the other side, which leads out to the courtyard. And then you go up here, we have Twilight's little library. And then Spike's Lookout, which is that little tower you saw, the smaller of the 2 towers, that is. Before we had some TVs and stuff, some paintings and stuff around here, but I took them down because, you know, gotta conserve all the paintings we can. And then that over there is the rail tunnel that leads to Joel's house, which we were at earlier. Then we've lost a couple blocks because people have been trying to ride the cars, and they, instead of punching the cars, they punch the ground beneath the cars, and they break the blocks, and I yell at them. It's a whole thing. And then so the next thing we will look at is Luna's old hovel. And this is where Luna lived before he came and lived in our house. So he just had a nice little like cavey, grass-covered area where he lived in. He did pretty well for himself before he came and lived with us. Even better afterwards because he had the help and support of me. And then after that we have the towers. That is Joel's tower, of the one who made the house and farm in the ocean. So he started making this, but as you can see from this, he never actually finished it because he stopped playing with us afterwards. So, but he got a good start, and he inspired me, and then I went and made it, and my tower is actually finished. So it looks almost the exact same, except for a little bit smaller around, and all the actual floors, which are marked by these are actually finished and filled in. And then I decided to make a bridge going across, and because the bridge was physically impossible, as in, like, without anything in the middle, it would just collapse, I made a smaller tower in the middle, all in survival, mind you. So that's Joel's tower, and if we go to ground, we will look at the next one, which is Fluttershy's cottage. So Fluttershy initially made a house, which was just like a wooden square with leaves on the top, and said that was quote-unquote Fluttershy's house. So we destroyed it and made him a new one, and he appreciated it because he realized that his house was shit before. So now it's a lot more like Fluttershy's cottage, doesn't it? It's got the lake part. The path winds up and has, you know, leaves and a fence near it. The bridge goes over the river. There's a little thing under the river that an animal lives in. We pretty much got the whole shebang going on here. We've got the animal coop, which keeps all the animals and shit, and then we have the entrance. It's also prevalent to notice that EQG Fluttershy, that sign needs to be changed because he is no longer Fluttershy. Fluttershy is now no longer taken. He is now EQG Sunset. For Sunset Shimmer, obviously. And then if we have in here, we have a living room with some couches and stuff, and a bookshelf, and a little table over here. And then we have Bye Bye from Pinky. And then here a little closet. And then over here we have the kitchen. So, you know, cutting area, storage, sink, usual stuff. For us, kitchens are so easy to make. We just put together like 4 or 5 different things that all, you know, are kitchen-y. And that's good. We have all the lights. We have a little bed so you can sit and watch TV and everything. A little lookout area, so if she wants to go up there and like read or something and just look around at the scenery, she can. And then back in here we have her bathroom, which she got like a shower with she's got a shower head, mirror, toilet, obviously. So just a nice little house, you know. Nothing too special, but honestly, it looks very canonical, and it's very nice. So I think we did a good job with this house. And then over to the left of it, you've got the Apple family's cottage. And so their cottage, very, you know, it looks okay, very kind of basic-ish, but you know, Brad did a good job on it. He's got like a little middle area, which I actually edited. This used to be something a bit different, but I changed it to make it look, I thought, a little bit better. So living room area, speakers, storage area for all the discs and shit, and TV. Honestly, having a texture pack where you have TVs and fridge and like drink stuff is like the biggest godsend that Xbox ever did. Like honestly, like we've been using this texture pack pretty much consistently since it came out, and it's so useful. Where like half of our project would look like shit if we didn't have City turned on. And then we got the little dance floor, which I made for him. I took a bunch of random blocks, put them in random spots, and I made a disco floor. And then kitchen area, and then upstairs is where all the little rooms are. And it's just their, like, you know, vacation home. It's not where they live. They just have small little bedrooms for Apple Bloom, Apple Jack, Granny Smith, and Big Mac. You wonder why Big Mac's floor is the one that doesn't match his color? It's because, well, he kind of shot himself in the foot. He made the normal carpet red, so he couldn't really make his own carpet red unless it was the same. So it was blue instead. Although I think he probably should have just changed it so this was blue, and that's blue, and then made his room red, but whatever. It's up to him. It's his house. So that is the Apple family's cottage. Over there we have like a little nuclear fallout shelter that someone made, one of Brad's friends, and then a little like boathouse thing where they can deploy boats from. And then the next thing we have after the 2 smaller houses is the mystery farm, which is over here. Now, back when we were in survival, we were just making these pipes, and we found this building, and we're like, the hell is this? I didn't know this existed. Turns out that Quasi made this little farm in survival while we weren't paying attention, and so we call it the mystery farm, illegally inhabited by Quasi, and Quasi is, well, he's a sick motherfucker, let's just say that. Also, I'd like you to note, and Quasi would not want me to show you this, but I don't give a fuck. So this is what Quasi was hiding in his basement. This contraption. So check this out. You hit the button, it spawns 2 creatures. You flip the switch, it drops him in lava. Press the button again, 2 more creatures spawn. You flip this switch, it smashes them. Basically, Quasi made like an animal death, torture / kill dungeon in his house. And no one, but me obviously, ever found it. You almost have to commend him on the fact that he kept it so well hidden for so long. But I don't actually have to because it's a sick creation that no one should have made. Alright, so now we'll leave his house because it's fucking creepy. Let's get out of here. And the next place we'll go to is going to be the castle of EQG Chrysalis, which is over here. EQG Chrysalis used to be Spankio Dum Dum. We have known him for about 2 years now. Pretty cool dude. Doesn't really talk a lot though, but he made himself a little castle here, which looks very nice and very traditional in the sense of traditional for castles. You know, parapets and turrets and, you know, syphilis and shit like that. Little rooms over here. I like what he did with the torches. The torches have a very nice look to them, where he made them look like they're actually mounted on the wall. I think that's cool. He's got like a little chandelier, a little second level area, the dining hall area, 2 towers of pimps with a burning thing on the top, and a throne to sit on. So that is his castle. And then, additionally, in the Everfree Forest, we have the Tree of Harmony, which many of you may not have seen because I hid it rather well. Looking in the forest, you do a spin around. You can't really see anything that might look like a tree, right? But then you go, oh, look! A little flash of blue. Let's take a look. What could that be? And you walk towards it, and you're walking towards it like la 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 na 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 na. And suddenly you find this thing of stairs. And look. Tree of Harmony. I even hid it and put stairs to it. Just like this show. Has a little overhang over it. All the elements are in their proper place. You know, you got magic, honesty, generosity, loyalty, you know, laughter, and kindness. So that's all that's the Tree of Harmony there. Basic, but I still like it. And then now we go to one of our other bigger projects, which is the harbor that you see in the distance. So the harbor contains a bunch of ships that we created way back when. This is Dockmaster's office, also the lighthouse. The Dockmaster, we have a docking clearance schedule. You have to get cleared by customs agent first. And the Dockmaster's Brad or Big Mac. The docking fee is £50. And this is the ship's manifest. So we have Finland is the Racetrack. And if you can tell that I made the ship names the names of, you know, ships from the fandom, then you are a genius and you should get a cookie. Ukraine is the Irony. I didn't make that name. Russia's the Fun. Also didn't make that name. Ireland, Drunken Luna, because I couldn't miss a chance to say that the Irish like getting drunk. Nigeria is the Apple Dash. Sweden is the Twidash. Japan is the I Hate Jews, because every single time Twilight turns his back, we change the name of his ship to this. Because he made a ship Japan, and it's flying a fucking swastika. Piece of shit. And then Estonia has the Fluttermac and the Apple Pie. The Apple Pie being my ship, and the Fluttermac being Brad's. And then Switzerland has the Debauchery. So let's visit all of them in turn. So this is the Fluttermac. A nice looking ship made out of spruce. Got some nice purple detailing. Mine is also made out of spruce. And has more of an iron detailing, and also has like a Applejack-ish themed thing there. So then we got the Sweden one, which looks very garish, and I really don't like it, but who cares? And this is the Japanese ship, which she put fucking swastikas and shit all over it, and fuck you, Twilight, you asshole. And then Pinkie Pie's ship, the Fun. And then over here we've got the Irony and the Apple Dash. Apple Dash being the shittiest and smallest one of them all, and the only one in a Junglewood. Over here we have the US ships. We have the USS Flutterdash and the EQG Rocks. I didn't name either of those, and I haven't added them to Docking Manifest yet because I'm lazy. Here we have the remnants of a submarine someone was trying to make that I never destroyed because I'm lazy. And then over here we have the 2 ships that I made myself. All the other ships, minus racist ship over there were made based off of Pinky's archetype. So I took his basic model and I copied it, making it a little bit wider in parts, or a little bit, whatever. And these ones were made out by Luna, these two. And then he tried to burn them down to the ground because he didn't like them. So then I salvaged what was left and replaced what had been destroyed with pieces from those ships. So if you notice, the masts look the same and everything, but the bodies do not. So that is why that is the case. But these, minus the masts, because I really liked how he did the masts, and I just kept the design. I thought it looked good. I designed these myself. So I designed that one first, and then I kind of streamlined the design and made that one. So this is the Racetrack. I thought it was ironic because it's a combination between my favorite pony and my least favorite pony, to put it lightly. So you have a nice little steering area up here where you can steer the ship and you can't even see where you're looking, so whatever. And then you've got two entrances to the cargo hold, and they cut off to the side and then go down. And this one, I was able to figure out how to make a universal firing mechanism, where this fires all the ones in the front, but the rest of them couldn't be hidden, because I'm not very good with redstone, as you can tell. So that is that one. And then over in here, we have the Debauchery, which is the same very sick thing, except for I just have one entrance to the cargo hold. The top area, I think, looks better. The cabin looks about the same, but I think probably a little bit better. And the bottom area, I did a lot better making too, but for some reason I couldn't get that to work. It's like I did the exact same thing. I basically copied it like to a piece, and it still wouldn't work, so I just had to compromise and make that how it was supposed to be. And then we have the Drunken Luna, which is the only steamship that we've got, but it's based off of Pinky's design, obviously. So, now that we have finished the harbor, I will show you around the water temple in just a second, because I must vacate the video to quickly use the restroom. So here is the once-over of the water temple. The water temple expands underneath the oceans of our map, and initially started with something that Luna made. He made this staircase right here that you see, and this one room here. Now, I, being somebody who likes making things harder for themselves and making more work than I could ever possibly hope to accomplish, decided that the most level-headed and reasonable thing would be to then take that one room and make it span this entire ocean. And then, having achieved that, through sheer determination and a lot of free time to waste at the time, I then made one in each ocean of our map. Except for one didn't get finished because Pinky Pie was in charge of that one. Although the other ones I made. And next we're going to the single most offensive thing on our map. And I'm not saying because it was poorly made. This is Twilight's house, or Discord's house, whichever one you want to say. Either way, it's just as shitty. So here's the most offensive thing in our entire map. It's so offensive, in fact, that I'm going to cut from right here to me being upstairs so you guys don't see the signs. Because I don't mind showing you guys in the world and looking at it, but I'd rather not have it on video, some of the signs that we wrote. So, cut now. Alright, so now that I've danced around the issue of featuring those signs, here's the rest of the house. Yup. Just as shitty as you'd expect something that Twilight would make would be. Oh, but, you know, it's its job. It's certainly a house. People can certainly live in here. Although he probably should have cleaned up the snow that's on the floor, but whatever. One can't blame her for being entirely pragmatic and, you know, leaving shit as it may be. So that is Twilight house. So now, I will once again be forced to cut because I'm going back downstairs. Alright, so that was Discord's house. Kind of disappointing, really, when you can't show the signs, but, you know, whatever. Rather not have video proof that those signs exist, so let's not do that. Alright, so, the next thing I'll show you is the Monopoly board. And here it is. This is the Monopoly board that we created. We use for the middle a pixel art, obviously, of Applejack's face, which I thought worked rather well. So the locations we have are, obviously, go. And then you have the dice, which haven't been filled yet, but will eventually. So the first property is Discord's house, because, you know, everyone knows that is the least worthy of any property. Then we have the Tree of Harmony, income tax, the Pegasus line, the Missile Silo, Chance, shout out to Le French Bread 22, the Three Towers, Quasi's Dome, Prison, the Ironworks, the Electric Company, which I didn't change the names of those two, Luna's House, we have the Ice Temple, the Unicorn Monorail, get it? The Jungle Temple, the Community Chest, the Sky Temple, well, Sky Temples, there's multiple, the Desert Temples, or just one, Desert Temple, the Apple Family Cottage, Chance again, Fluttershy's Cottage, Derpy's House, the Alicorn Maglev, once again, get it? The Water Temple, the Great Pyramid, Waterworks, didn't change the name of the utilities, like I said, the Hotel. This is what sends you to jail, because the cops caught you with your pile of cocaine. So, you know, jail. Now. Cloudsdale, the Harbor, the Crystal Empire, the Earth Pony Railway, Chance, Canterlot High, and Ponyville Island. So those are the properties that we have on our Monopoly board. Now, having it actually work has not been finished just yet, but it will be finished sometime in the future. So next we go to the Minefield, which is a pretty basic minefield. It just kind of cuts across. I wanted something to fill the space. It does that pretty adequately. When TNT is active, if you step on this, the TNT will activate, and because it is on sand, the sand will fall, and then this will fall, and then you will fall in the hole and explode. So that is how that works. So just, you know, minefield. Right now it's deactivated, so it's safe. And then over here, we have the miraculously, oh, and here it says, notice I flattened the desert pretty much, you know, without exception. So it looks a lot more organized now, and there's a lot more room for stuff to be built. Like right there you could build something, right there you could build something, over there you could build something, you know. I basically opened the room for expansion in later days, which will be nice. So over here we have possibly the best project in the desert, possibly, which is, yeah, it is the best one. I just had to think real quick about what else is in the desert. Definitely the best one we have. This is the Pyramid of Menkaure, one of the three, the smallest one if you must know, the smallest of the 3 pyramids of Giza from Egypt, and we made it. So in this area you have what are called magazines, which are basically little cubby holes with quote-unquote relics in them. So with relics, well, Minecraft doesn't really have that good of a way to represent that. So I put different colored, or different made towers of varying precious materials and scattered them through all the magazines. And then in this side, it is the same basic thing, as well as in here and in here. And then if you go in this way, you have a couple more magazines in here. Some of these I started doing flip up, like ones that are flipped upside down, because we didn't have any more configurations to use, so I had to think of something different to do. And then here, this is the long passageway, which I'll fly through because it takes fucking forever if you don't. Goes twists and turns throughout the entire fucking pyramid, and eventually ends right here. And right here, this isn't supposed to be active though. So there's a switch here that you hit, and it says pull to enter Club Nile. And you're like, oh, well, I can't go in yet, so sure, I'll pull it. You pull the lever, that opens, and you can go down the water. Now, if you notice, fucking go through the thing. This is one of the passages we were just in. It actually goes through it. And then you continue going down, and you enter Club Nile, which has a nice little colored floor, some light fixtures, a nice little cool-looking ceiling. And, in keeping with the Egyptian theme, there's even cats in this ceiling. As you guys know, the Egyptians, like, basically worshipped cats. So, you know, very fitting. And then over here, we have a door. And this leads down into the basement. And from the basement, we have the switch, which opens these two blocks right here. And if you go through this, this is the crypt of the Pharaoh Menkaure. This is his crypt room. And if you go up through there, that is a different path, which I will now show. So, go back through all of this. Go back up through here. Make sure you know, close the door after yourself. You don't want to leave things a mess. You have to clean up after yourself, obviously. So now we will run back through. You would not imagine how hard it was to make all these passages not interfere with each other and make them all work. And simultaneously make it very, well, varied. So there you go, that is the entrance exit of that. And if we proceed out to the door here, we'll see that you can go to the side where there's a satellite pyramid of one of his lieutenants. And there's also a little side door over here. And the side door represents the other entrance. And this is where, over here, the builders of the pyramid buried themselves in. They built themselves into the wall, basically. And if you proceed, you're like, oh, this is it? That's the crypt? So that kind of sucks. I mean, I thought it would have been more, but I guess not. And then you're like, man, I wish I could break something, and then you break it, and then, oh, hey, look at this, it's not the end. And then that's the other way to get into the crypt. That's the quote-unquote legitimate way to get into the crypt. The other way is not supposed to be done, but can be if you would like. So that, my friends, is the Pyramid of Menkaure. And then we have over here something that was made early on in the creative sphere. Not quite as early as Cloudsdale, but one of the earlier ones. It is the Saddle Arabian Ironworks, which is a little ironworks down in the desert. So that's where it is purified. That's where it is stamped into the smaller component materials, and then that is where it is made into the actual tools. So the water comes in through there from the river, goes through the pipes, is used to cool down these, and then is then disposed of downriver. So that is that. And then over here is one of our survival buildings, which was the only real thing we had in the desert for the longest while, which is Derpy's sandcastle. This is where Derpy lives. Our Derpy, that is, not the canon Derpy. This is where EQG Derpy Hooves lives. This is a guest bedroom. This is my guest bedroom, and I even had a trap. Ha ha ha. It's so funny. You die now. And then a little room, which I think Zed was living in this room up here. And then if you go back in here, this obviously is new, because we didn't really have that when it was initially made. This is where Derpy's was. And all these right here were pedestals where we put the elements of harmony when they were staying in Derpy's house. So now, Derpy's house just houses the Tower of Pimps that we have of Achievement Hunter fame. And then the next thing we have to visit in the desert is the pig racing track. So it's very simple. It's just a track. The middle area is just designed to look nice. And in here you have all the supplies. You know, pig eggs, saddles, carrot on stick, bows to fuck with other people. You got the switch so that, you know, you can start and finish the race by flipping the switch. So there's that. So a very basic project, something we made pretty early on when we had lower standards, but it's effective nonetheless. And then over here, we have the similarly made combat arena, which is just a little bunker to sleep in, some weapons and everything. You have color-coded armor, so you know what, who's who. And then you have the different entrances that you use to get in. So it's just a very nice looking structure. Not a whole lot to it. Pretty basic, but I still thought it was a good idea. What I like most about it is the use of the different directional wood. This was, I think, right around the time where they first introduced this as an update. And so we're like, oh, dude, we got to use this. Now wood can be sideways. It was like revolutionary. And then now we have the house of our old friend Zed, or Zed Time. He hasn't played with us for a while, and even before he made this house, he hadn't played with us for a while. So this is about as far as he got into making his house. But, you know, it's pretty decent. He uses item frames a lot more than I'm used to, but everyone has their own style. And my style is getting stuck indoors. So, you know, the desert used to be not quite as flat. There used to be a lot more around this. So basically, I made plateaus for anything that was already here, and then just flattened everything else. And it's funny what you discover. Like, this was here, but, like, it hadn't been uncovered. So when I was flattening stuff out, I discovered this little lava pit over here. So, you know. And then over here, we have the unfinished biome box, which was started quite a long time ago. A little bit under a year ago now, maybe like 9 months ago, we started this. And, well, I hadn't progressed very far because honestly I don't really want to do it. So perhaps it'll be done one day, perhaps not. We'll have to see. And then now I will take you through the downtown region of our map, which is quite possibly the densest area. And by quite possibly, I mean it absolutely fucking is. So this is the outskirts where we've cleared out some more room for people to build houses here. I made a little, like, short terracing area. Got a little flat zone there, and there's a zone for someone to build a house right here, and someone could build something right back here. So, you know, there's lots of room for expansion, and I opened it up quite significantly. We'll just have to see. So we have a nice little, like, just like paths and some design areas, and a nice little walkway which leads up to our monorail station. You have the 2 ticket areas you can use to get in. Either way works. And then you go through on here. And then there's a monorail station. There's a monorail car, some seats for waiting and everything. The board, which has destination marked on it and everything, but this is the only station I've made so far. So the names and the quote-unquote times have not been laid out yet. So that'll have to come later. And then over here, I made a little, like, shopping center. I discovered that in this texture pack, the witches look like Starbucks employees. So I decided that I was going to make a Starbucks. And quickly, it became a lot bigger than just one building. So this is like a Starbucks-themed shopping center. At the moment, no particular room has been picked out to actually be Starbucks. And in fact, no room has been furnished, period. But it looks very nice, and hopefully someone will come along at some point and put a Starbucks in here. So that's more like it's going on future potential. So that is that. And over here, which is on the edge of downtown, but provides a very important aspect of downtown, is the power station, the power plant as it is. So Lunam is the maker of this. I said, hey, we need a power station. Go make one. So he made a little power station. You know, uses the presence of water around lava and everything to power it, and give power to all of downtown, because downtown has a lot of power-hungry things in it. And after that, we have me possibly needing to sneeze. We'll see in a couple of seconds here. We have Quasi's dome, which started out as a village, which we then put a wall around in survival because we wanted to protect ourselves from enemies. And then, once we went into creative mode, we made all those color pipes. We decided that we'd make a color pipe that went into the village and created a dome of protection. So I'm gonna have to break in because we can't go through portals without. And fuck it, I'll break the portal. Fuck it, whatever. I'm not saving. So we go through and we look inside, and Quasi kind of let it get run down a little bit. Not gonna lie. So this is where the pipes go into the ground, and then it's projected up through here and envelops the whole city. This is Quasi's house, and this is actually where I used to live, right here. This was my house, right here. You can tell because there's a little remnant left behind, which was my enchanting room, and most of it's gone, not because it got destroyed or messed with, but because it was made out of a bunch of material blocks that I collected that were like special, you know, lapis and bricks and shit like that. That I wanted to keep, so I tore it all up and I moved. So anything that's left is whatever was not special. And then there used to be a portal. I made a big giant like chain of trees that was right around here before we went into creative. And so the staircase led up to them. But the trees got burned down, and my portal was just kind of sitting up there by itself, and then it eventually got destroyed when Quasi took over. And so Pinky wouldn't want me to show you this, but he hid something rather cheeky in this well, which took me a long time to discover, where he keeps track of the people that he's killed. So Pinky is one weird motherfucker. Let's get out of here before the madness gets to us. All right, so now we have looked around here. We can now proceed out. Because initially I had that portal there as like to make it look like it had like a defensive barrier that, you know, only let good people through there and everything. But now that creative makes you go through the portal immediately, it doesn't really work. So, you know. And then next to it we have the hazard sign. And if you're wondering what it's a hazard warning for, it's this. This is the friendship missile silo that we made. The colors match, you know, different colors of the rainbow. It's for friendship: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, you know, indigo, violet, whatever. So those are all those. That's the friendship missile silo. And you can actually go in there through this little bunker, which this controls the missiles and has a staircase that leads down to that glass area. So that's cool looking. And then over here, once again, one of those areas where I cleared it out, and if anyone wants to make a house, they are more than welcome to. So, it's kind of interesting, though. When I was doing that, I uncovered something interesting. We made this hotel a long time ago, and I'll show you guys that in a second. That'll be the last thing I do in downtown, because that's what kind of started everything becoming so clustered down here. I say kind of, because something else actually is responsible. But down the staircase is the original strip mine that we made when we were in survival. We uncovered like almost a full stack of diamonds just by strip mining down there. And those passages down there go on for a very, very long time down there. They're very extensive, and I'm almost surprised that we were able to do all that work and survive without getting bored or, you know, killing each other. And then the next building I'll show is the museum, which looks very nice, same as pretty much everything, but as with a lot of stuff, is not exactly furnished 100%. So we have inside, or they have like the ticket area and everything, and once you get the ticket area, you go in down through here. And this is like a little like seating area and everything where families can kind of catch their breath and, you know, get their kids ready or whatever bullshit they're gonna do. And that is a block that should not be broken, but is for some reason. Alright, I'll fix that later. And then when you appear here, you have two options. One, you can go down, and then obviously you can go up. And each one features a staircase that looks just like this, and then the little exhibit area. And the exhibit is in the middle. Now that's the one part we haven't done yet, so the museum-y part of it is finished, but the exhibit-y part of the museum, which is kind of important, I would say anyways, is not quite here. But it goes all the way up, even taller than the museum. This is the final exhibit. It looks rather cool, I think. One of our bigger structures, and once we have something in it, will look very, very nice. And then another house that we can take you to that's in here is the house of a buddy of ours named Shutoku Devil. He made a very nice modern looking house. I really do like this house. It's very basic, but it works. So this is his house. He used to have 2 pets in here, but I'm not sure what the hell happened to them. It seems like when we went to the Xbox One version, some animals like made the transition and everything, but some didn't. So some of the animals are just gone. Like Oswald, as you saw, made it, but certain other pets did not. And he has like a little room in here, which I'm not sure what this is going to be for. He never did finish it, but you know, certainly a nice looking room, even if it's kind of ineffectual. And then he also made a little backyard area that I will show you once I find a way to get the fuck out of here without running into the walls. Here we go, down the stairs. I'm the back. So see, he had 2 pets. He had Ghetto Hyena and he had Fluffy, but they're both gone for some reason. And then you've got a little fire pity area, another one over here for everyone to gather around and, you know, have a bonfire or something. And then a little basement-y area in the back, which is more private-y, but looks cool nonetheless. And honestly, in this map, having private stuff is only cool when you're able to show people. So I feel comfortable putting this in the video, knowing that Shutoku will probably thank me for it eventually. Here we go. And then you can even use this to get to a secret area. It's like a secret within a secret. Like the area itself isn't meant to be discovered very easily. And then, you know, he even has this, like right behind the waterfall. So that's pretty cool. Although it is kind of weird, you can actually see it right there, so it isn't even that secret, but whatever. That's one of those things that you look at in hindsight, and you go, whoops, made a mistake. Oh well, whatever, fuck it. I have to do that a lot since I make a lot of mistakes, but whatever. So that is Shutoku Devil's house. A rather nice, modern-looking abode. You would not believe, it might look easy because it's just all flat and everything, but you would not believe how hard it was to do all this landscape manicuring and make everything look nice. Fucking, it takes forever. And this last house, has a very, very soft spot in my heart. Because, 1, I helped make it, and 2, who I helped make it for, is a pretty cool person, I'd say. This is my girlfriend's house. Also not finished, but that's because, you see that pattern? Yeah, it's goddamn annoying. So, the last couple touches is to finish the pattern, and then put a ring of water blocks along the top edge here, and then let them flow down to the bottom. And in the middle, whatever area doesn't have water, I will put lava. Because her whole house is like a bunch of floating platforms, so we don't even need a floor. So, if you go up, you see we've got a living room area with like some TVs. I made her a little shower platform. Oh, no, this is the bathroom platform. Never mind. Shower platform somewhere else. So we have the bathroom platform, and then we have one that goes back down. We don't want to go back down right now. So let's see. Let me go back to the living room platform. This is the couchy. And then we have the staircase that leads to her bed. So some bookshelves, flower, speaker. Over here we have more like the this is the dining room table. And close by it, the kitchen. And then over here we have the shower, as I was mentioning earlier, which I can peek at from the kitchen. Very important feature for someone like me, aka someone creepy. And then we can just have like a nice little viewing area, because the ceiling is partially made of glass, so a nice little viewing area. So a very basic house, but for Emily, she really liked it, and she thought it was a pretty good place. So honestly, that was what I was going for. So boosh, mission accomplished. So that is her house. Not finished yet, but well on the way. And then we have what really started all the downtown development. Oh, hey, look. There's the intro letters again. Hi, intro letters. We have Luna's house, who used to be named Iron Man, so that's why it says that. Alright, so in here we go in and we have, on the left, we have the classical music side, which is like an orchestra area and Octavia's key mark, and then a nice little upstairs viewing area. And this side we have the club side, with like a DJ's booth and Vinyl Scratch's cutie mark, and another upstairs seating area. If you go up the stairs, there are the doors to get to those respective areas. And boosh boosh, open the doors, boosh boosh, there we go. Oh, and here we have the man of the hour. This is Iron Man's butler, Clinton, who has been living here with Iron Man for more than a year. And I'm not saying that in like terms of like lore. I'm saying that literally he has been in this house for an actual calendar, real life, full year. That one has anyways. We actually made a new one, because you know with name tags we can actually make his name Clinton, and we're trying to make it work. But I can't find the asshole, so maybe he just wasn't cut out for the job. Anyways, the old Clinton is just good enough. So this is Iron Man's bedroom in here. This is where his bed is where all his survival stuff was. Another upstairs-ish bedroom area. I guess that's where the magic happens. Haha, just kidding. No magic happens for Iron Man. Here's Clinton. Hi. Hi, Clinton. Don't do it. Don't jump. There are people that love you. And so that is what's actually started this whole development thing. So that's Luna's house. And then another thing that Luna made is the Gundam factory. Also, I believe, unfinished. There's certainly some work to be done here. But he just put a Gundam in this. And he has like a shield thing, some kind of sword, a sniper rifle. So it looks pretty cool. Although I'm not a big Gundam person, so for me it just looks cool. And then we have got the hotel. One of our bigger things that we have, certainly. So let's proceed. It is called the Kelborn Riker Hotel. The rooms are £45. And I'm not sure if that's ridiculously expensive or inexpensive or just right, because I'm not from Britain, so whatever. It is what it is. So go in, we have the lobby, where we have the check-in desks and the employees' rooms. And if you proceed, you have just these pillars of light, just there to hold shit up. And then we have the main staircase, which goes all the way up to the top. And it says, please refrain from using the stairs as a diving board. So obviously, because I wrote that sign, and it's my rule, I'm going to disobey it. And no one else is allowed to do that, so fuck all of you guys. Go to the second level, we have a fountain over here. And then we have the gift shop, where we have random items that people may purchase as gifts for the time here. A staircase that leads to the bottom level. The Arcadia, where we have such stations as Just Prance, where we have the different directions you have to move in to, you know, prance. You've got Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, and Miss Pac-Man. The coins exchange, which I fucked that up. But it's been there for so long that we leave it there on purpose as like a little inside joke. We have the Fix-It Felix machine, the Daring Do Revolution 2, and Legend of Zelda Gax Strikes Back. And then over here we've got the Mario Kart, or random racing game, and Time Crisis 3 through 5. Why not 1 and 2? I really don't know. And this is the gift area. Or like the prize area, I guess. Not the gift area. The gift area is its own thing. And this staircase also goes to the very top. It's more like a side access one. So there's this one. And over here we have the public storage and repairment. This is where, like a stock room, basically. It's where things that are broken get fixed. It's where, you know, all the extra linens and shit are stored. And the staircase that goes to the first level. The cafe food and stuff. Just little cafe to eat at, because usually in hotels there's at least one restaurant at the bottom. The typical kitchen you come to expect from this texture pack. A nice little outdoors, quote-unquote, eating area. And then you've got the rooms, or the floors, rather, which all are just rooms laid out in succession. Each one follows a theme. This floor is that colored. This one is this color. As far as these color, this one Pinky made us do, and it was really hard, but it looks good in hindsight. And then here we have the penthouse, which has a nice little viewing area up here, a little bar, has an Eastern suite, and a Western. And we have like a theater-ish area, like on view. And that's actually where the staircase ends on this side. And then we have the Western suite bedroom, the Western suite bathroom, and the guest room for the Western suite. And then the Eastern side has the same thing, but it's, you know, Eastern. Guest room, bedroom, bathroom, and near the theater with the staircase again. So that's that. And then the roof, which for the longest time, before we could manually set the spawn, was the spawn point for our map, and has a pretty good view of the stuff around us. I think it does anyways. So that is the hotel. And then we've got a couple things that I kind of breezed over that are a bit more scattered out. So we've got this small little jungle house here that no one's really claimed. And then we have all of our temples, which I will go and show you now. But I will not show you where they are. I'm just going to cut from right here to where the jungle temple is. So here it is. This is the jungle temple. We made our own, just so you guys know. This was before they had jungle and desert temples in this map, so we actually made our own. So this is one that I made. I made the jungle temple, and other people made the other ones. I also made the water temple mostly. And this culminates in a little jump over this thing, which that's at the bottom is a bunch of webs ending in an end portal. So if you don't have like an ender pearl or something like that, you're pretty much boned if you get caught in that. And then here, a ward of dragon egg and a bunch of blaze eggs and some emeralds. That's nice. The jump across after is actually harder. And it's kind of funny because you might think that it'd be easier because, you know, but no. So that is jungle temple. So now I will cut from here to the desert temple to show you what the desert temple looks like. So here is the entrance to the desert temple. We have a water segment, a lava segment, and a middle segment. So in this segment, it's just, you know, lava, 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 with a little hourglass made of lava. And it ends in a little reward chest. This one's pretty straightforward. I mean, you just walk through it and, you know, don't have a stroke and walk into the lava on accident, and you'll be fine. And then a water segment, which is also just kind of a design to look cool. Oh wait, this is actually one of the challenger ones. So the platform appears, and you need two people for this one. So you have one person stand on it, and then one person runs across and gets it and comes back. And then if you're a good friend, as the person's running across, you do this. And then they die. And then you all laugh about it, and it's funny. So then here we go, there's that, so some rewards and such. And then the last one is the big one, which, as I mentioned, I'm not saving, so I'm just going to break all this shit down. Presumably there's actually a way to, you know, actually get rid of it normally, like you're supposed to. But I didn't make this, and honestly I don't have time for this bullshit, so, fucking don't care, Pinky. I think it's like through here, you have to like put a switch there or something like that. I don't know. There's like some kind of switch work enabled. And so this is the main area, the one that you're supposed to, like, the one that's supposed to be hard to get to, and you know. But, I'm a cheater, so I'm just gonna go and do that. I helped him make this one. This one was pretty, me and him had a pretty good time with making this little room. This one is what I made. I made this part. I like using end portals, so I use end portal here and here. This is the crypt of the desert temple person, and also, pretty much he just said, take these blocks that I give you and make something cool with it. So I did that. And that is exactly what I did. And now, that we've done the desert temple, I will now cut to the ice temple. Alrighty, so here we are in the ice temple. Very, well, icy, as you might imagine. So this one was initially Brad's job, EQG Big Mac, but he made it very straightforward, very linear, very easy to follow. So me and Pinky came in and helped him make it a bit more complicated. So here we now have 3 passages to choose from at the start, and each one has a different challenge to it. So this one through here, you go over in here, go through here. This one is the least challenging of them all. Mostly because Brad made it. It's pretty straightforward until you get to the very end. You have this jump you have to make. And now, at the end of this, you have the version tunnel. And inside you have, well, the cherry, because what else would virgins have in a chest? They're cherry. Duh. So that one Brad made, and it's pretty straightforward, and that's honestly, that's all that there was before me and Pinky came in and said, no, 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 no. This isn't a temple. He also didn't even have this passage blocked off. It was just a straight line from that passageway to this room to that tunnel, and that was it. So these are the ones that me and Pinky made. Brad did a good job for what he had, but probably should have put more time and effort into it. So here we go, a little staircase that goes down into the bowels. And then, you know, it's a big passageway system, and you can kind of see through it to see where you're going, but not really. And then the chest with nothing. This one's kind of funny, because all these chests, spoiler alert, don't have anything in them. Yep, not a single one of these chests actually has anything in it. And this ends in a dead end in a cave. So this one was just basically us fucking with whoever's in the temple. Where there's no actual like anything that you get from doing this. There's no reward, there's no nothing. So every chest empty. So this one was just more because that one path that Brad made was supposed to be the actual path. So all the other paths are supposed to be, you know, fake or not actually rewarding in any way. So that's how we did it. So, you know, it dead ends and twists and turns and everything. And I think the temples are one of those things where we made them well for the time that we were making it in, but probably could have done a better job. And by probably, I mean we definitely would have, but we put more time into it. So these are one of those things that I would like to go back and improve later. So hopefully we'll have a chance at some point. Oh, here's one of these. Also, nothing. Surprise, surprise. So, had fun making this, but, you know, could have done better. Here we go. It's kind of funny, I haven't been in here for a very long time. I'm actually starting to forget some of the layouts. Like, I was like, for a second, I'm like, how do I get back to the entrance? But, eventually I figured it out. And this one is kind of funny, because this one is like, just, you know, like, oh man, that's just a trap. There's nothing there. It's just explosives. And yes, it is explosives. However, if you break past these explosives, you also get to look in a chest, which, you guessed it, contains nothing. So it looks like there's nothing, but if you go past it, you can find something, but then that something turns out to be nothing. So it's just me fucking with whoever's in the temple. And that, my friends, is the ice temple. So kind of the most basic out of the three, I'd think, but decent enough. And so now I will cut from here to Pinky's floating sky temples. So I figured this one would be a good one to start on, because it's the closest one to where I was, and also it was the first one he made. So we've noticed that around the map there were certain areas that had large craters in them. Obviously this one had water in it before, but he took out the water to give it like the effect more of a crater. So he took the craters that appear in our map, and he actually like copied the missing land in the sky. Also, here's a nice shot of the water temple for those of you. Yeah, that's this branch of the water temple. So up at the top of the sky, spinning, spinning, spinning. This is the first of the sky temples. This is the Temple of Air. This is that temple. So they're all like buildings that are frozen in time. They were ripped out of the ground and now they're frozen. And so now we can go find another one of the sky temples, which he has, I believe, 3 that are complete, perhaps 4. I want to say 3, because here's the second one. There's one in the jungle, and there's one over there, but it isn't finished yet. This is another one of the ones he made, where this one, what happened is the 2 pieces got ripped out of the land, and as it got ripped out of the land, the one tower fell over and crashed through the ground of the other one, smashing part of the building that was already there. So this one's pretty cool. You can actually like run through it and everything. There's like a staircase, and it's all pretty sweet. This one is the, I believe it's the Temple of, not gonna lie, I forget, because I thought I was gonna say space, but that one's Temple of Space, so that one can't be it. And this is the other one. He actually made this one. It's funny, he made this one, and for our 1-year anniversary we did like a survival challenge thing where we were facing off against each other and we all had to stay alive for as long as possible. And I made mine right underneath this crater, because we said we couldn't make our house in any of it, but that doesn't count because that's the crater that was already there. So I thought it was a pretty clever idea. So this is the Temple of Space. See, Temple of Space. Probably the most basic one, but I still think it looks pretty cool. It looks very nice. So those are Pinky's floating sky temples. And he's still working on one more, which is you may have seen it when we were nearby the Lunar Temple. It is floating in the sky. It's the one piece of that landmass that isn't covered in stone. It's this right here. So as you can see, he's got the contours of the land done, but he has yet to flatten it off or start building a structure just yet. So he's got part of it done. Just he doesn't have most of it done. So looking forward to him eventually finishing that. So hopefully he can do it. So all right, let's fly back to the E. So guys, thank you for enduring and watching all my parts of this tour adventure that I made. It's been a long time coming. We've been playing this same map for almost 2 years now. We've made a lot of things, like this list that I made. I went around the map and made a list of all the locations I was going to visit. And the list, I looked at the end, I'm like, do we really have that much stuff on this map? But yeah, we have a ton of stuff on this map, so thank you for watching the whole thing, assuming you did, and you didn't just skip around. I'll probably be uploading these in parts. For example, I think the high school might be its own part, and I think I might do that as the first part, the Crystal Empire and the school, and then the rest of it will be a second part, or maybe 2 other parts, depending on how long it is, because my recording right now is at 2 hours and 30 minutes. Granted, not all of that is going to be used, because there's bits where I was flying in between the temples and, you know, other shit like that. So not all of it will be used, but 2 hours and 30 minutes. I took 2 hours and 30 minutes out of my day to record this tour for you guys. So, you know, eventually what I'll probably do is I'll add parts, and I'll say, you know, tour update, and, you know, I'll include, you know, I'll probably do maybe like a monthly or bi-monthly shorter one where I basically look at all of the stuff that we've built, you know, since the last time, and I'll build on it. That way I don't have to make a 2 hour and 31 minute video. So thank you guys for tuning in, assuming you have. And it's been a fun 2 years, and here's to many more after that. Goodbye.